right away. You see the matchup there. Second serve to the return of Davenport.
Well, this is the serve that Lindsay Davenport knows that Martina Hingis likes to hit, that wide one to the forehand side. Even though we have seen her hit the big serve down the middle on that same side quite often this week.
Follows it up with a good first serve and a missed return.
30-15.
So right away, you think you see the importance of getting the first serve in for Hingis?
While Lindsay Davenport obviously being able to choose to go either way with that forehand, really waited until Martina Hingis committed. Obviously the ball was very, very short. Martina had to guess either way, and Lindsay just went the other.
Set up by the big return. So 0 for 2 on second serves. Here's number 3 of the game coming up.
30.
And see, that's so predictable. When you start feeling the heat of the returns on your second serve, you're going to go for a little more, you're going to feel pressure, you're going to double fault. It brings up break point.
Well, plus at the beginning of the match, you're also a little bit tight, a bit nervous. Fantastic inside-out backhand there from Hingis. That really is the side that, when under pressure, holds up remarkably well.
Yeah, so well there. She wanted to run around a forehand to hit the backhand.
Brings up game point for Hingis.
Interesting. Lindsay Davenport, I noticed a couple of years ago, likes to do that occasionally. Just blast the return straight up the center of the court as hard as she can, and she forces a lot of errors that way.
Advantage Davenport.
Second break point opportunity.
I don't think Lindsay hit this smash perfectly cleanly, but she'll take it.
And again, it was brought up by a second serve. Well, that's why she's number 1 in the world. She possesses the best return of serve in women's tennis. Break point number 3. Two double faults in the game from Martina Hingis, and Lindsay Davenport breaks in the first game of the final. Big difference in the second serves, Liz.
Well, in the second serve of Lindsay Davenport, particularly on rebound ace court, it really kicks up very high, and it's tough for anybody to make a really determined response from that.
Out. 13-15.
Well, that's called getting yourself out of trouble. You saw Hingis come charging in halfway through that point and then stopped and hesitated, wait for her to bounce, and then she found herself very, very close to the net. Lindsay threw up the lob, and Hingis doing a good job to improvise to get that next one back.
40-30.
We've spoken about how much Hingis likes that wide serve on the deuce court, but Davenport also loves that serve. Game point.
Well, Martina Hingis doing the forcing herself there. Really eager to hit that one as early as she could.
Because it wasn't a volley winner, it doesn't come up as a net point one, but in my mind, that's a good sign for Hingis to be venturing forward.
Advantage Hingis.
It's one of these long rallies, which I'm sure will be a feature of today's play. Lindsay just missing on the sideline.
Break point, get the break back. Quality returning, 2 breaks of serve, 1-all first set.
You know, somebody.
Long 50.
Pick it right back up where we left off after the very first game, which is Davenport climbing on top with aggressive returns.
The other thing that Martina Hingis likes to do on her serve, but she has a harder time doing against Lindsay Davenport because she returns so well, is serving the serve, and it's not really a serve and volley, but certainly moving forward, looking to see the ball that comes in the air and then hitting that one on the full. She really doesn't have, she has a harder time doing that against Lindsay, obviously because Lindsay, you know, hits the return very, very flat and hard.
I mean, just on the heels after the return. I mean, I know it's redundant, but imagine if you were in Hingis' position. 2 break points. Match starting off with 3 straight breaks of serve.
Get rid of it.
Well, she did. She got a little black magic marker there. Doesn't that look neat? Should have said, thanks, Liz. Davenport led 30-love in her first service game, was unable to hold serve. Let's see what happens here.
Out. 40-love.
Well, that was the high second serve kicker out to the backhand side, but Hingis just doing a great job of getting up to that and moving forward. Really got great penetration on it.
Well, Hingis really learns quickly. I mean, obviously #1 in the world when she was like still 16. But she makes adjustments in a hurry, and she has the versatility in her game to make adjustments in a hurry. Well,
Well, two clean backhand winners, both up that line. Still game point for Lindsay Davenport.
Game Davenport.
First game to go with serve puts Davenport ahead 3-1.
Davenport leads 3 games to 1.
Hingis plays quickly. So many of the gals play quickly. She played a long 3-setter yesterday. 7-6 in the third, and it took like under an hour and 45 minutes.
Love 30.
Well, the two-handed backhand down the line, we've seen Hingis with her fair share. Davenport showing off hers. We saw Leighton Hewitt with that shot over Todd Martin a couple of days ago, time and time again. When you're really tall and you close the net, it doesn't matter how tall you are.
Well, Hingis again in trouble on a serve. This backhand winner from Davenport gives her 2 break points.
And Davenport didn't get to that ball over she didn't get it over the net, but she got to it. She would not even have sniffed it 2 years ago. We talk about all the reasons why somebody gets to be #1 in the world, and Lindsay Davenport, more than anything, that sense of belief came through, and her fitness level picked way up.
And she is a very, very likable girl, Lindsay Davenport. You know, she comes across very, very modest, very unassuming. But there has to be that really competitive side to her.
Tell you what, when you finally have a game point on your serve and you think you hit an ace, you don't like it taken away.
Called good on the baseline.
Well, Martina wasn't thoroughly convinced that ball was in.
Forcing play from Davenport.
When Davenport plays well, she's just better than anybody else right now. I mean, Hingis can play with Davenport to a point, but over 2 sets, if Davenport is consistent with her heavy hitting, nobody is better.
Point for 4-1 here for Davenport. And that's it. Davenport's ahead now in the first set of this championship match. 4 games to 1. How fitting that 1 and 2 in the world should meet right here at the beginning of the year. Of course, they did play at Hopman Cup, but that doesn't have any bearing on rankings or the championship position. unforced errors to Martina Hingis.
That's impressive for Davenport. Anytime Davenport has fewer unforced errors than Hingis, I can guarantee you she's way ahead because she is forcing play all the time.
And hitting the ball just very, very hard and flat. It's difficult to keep your unforced errors down when you do hit the ball like Lindsay Davenport does.
Game Davenport.
Finishing off with an ace, 5-1 ahead. Davenport looking very, very commanding.
And I think I saw a little glance down from Hingis, looking down Davenport's way, saying, you know, you're playing like perfect tennis here. Cut it out. I mean, Hingis actually is known for sort of giving the odd little glare, and it's part of her fun package. Never forget a couple of years ago when she won the singles and the doubles at the Australian Open, and she said, well, I didn't play the mixed doubles, so I let someone else win a title here, and it was just sort of...
Gee, wow, thanks.
Well, if this keeps up, it won't be much of a fun package.
15 all.
Well, this forehand winner from Martina Hingis takes it up to 5 on the forehand side.
Davenport with 2 more. Well, Hingis again with an opportunity to hold serve for the first time in this championship match.
Maybe that'll help to stem the tide. Martina Hingis holding serve for the first time, but Davenport is ahead 5-2 in the first set.
That's why Chris Evert, Martina Navratilova had such tremendous matches.
There's that sneak play from Martina Hingis that we talked about before the match. If she can take the Lindsay Davenport serve early, which is a hard thing to do, hit it down that line, you see her come sneaking in and hit that ball on the full.
When you're down 5-2, 2 breaks, and you're really getting crushed, you have to change your game plan, and nobody is more equipped to change their game plan than Martina Hingis, now going for the big ground strokes.
See what she does with this second serve, Martina Hingis. Three break points, Martina Hingis.
Hingis makes a statement.
Davenport is 5-3.
A whole different attitude in that game from Martina Hingis. She became the aggressor. She is trying to dictate play. Let's see what happens now on her serve. See, this is where she gets uneasy now. She's getting a second serve to Davenport. Help.
Block 15.
Well, it's tough to hold serve when you're a couple of metres behind the baseline from the word go, which is where Martina Hingis was on that occasion.
Block 30.
Well, see, there,
15, 30.
there's a couple of big second serves. The first one, the net cord, but that's as much as Hingis can do by going for it on the second serve. She doesn't have a bigger one than those last two.
Two set points for Lindsay Davenport, 15-40 on the serve of Martina Hingis.
Well, it almost got awkward for Martina Hingis. She almost took the high ball, that one there, she almost took that in the air, electing to just let it bounce and then hitting the smash of it.
And ace saves the second set point. First one for Hingis. Called fault. Pretty good second serve.
Well, she realized after the first few service games she couldn't hold serve and that she had no choice. I mean, you're going to either drop serve the whole match or you're going to change your pattern and do something different, and Hingis has done it. Sometimes even when she goes for the second serve, though, it's still not going to be good enough.
She actually attempted to serve and volley on her first serve on that occasion, which is another little trick that Martina can have up her sleeve.
Advantage
Hingis can hold serve here. It's going to put all sorts of pressure for the first time in this match on Davenport. Having led 5-1 in the set. A real let-off by Hingis, because once Davenport let that ball bounce, the whole thing changed. Lindsay Davenport needed to keep moving forward and hit the ball in the air.
Advantage.
Good serve, and Hingis staves off 2 set points. She's still in the fight. 5 games to 4, though. Davenport serving for the set again after this.
Hingis can press the issue much better on the backhand side. We've seen about 3 or 4 unforced errors in this new attitude of going for it from Hingis, and the errors come more often, much more often, when she presses on the forehand.
It's just much more natural for Lindsay Davenport to force the issue than Martina Hingis. We've seen Martina Hingis do it very, very effectively the last few games, but it's hard work for her. It's not a natural way that she likes to play, and I think there's a difference too in the 2 games.
Again, forehand, under pressure, trying to do something a little extra.
3 set points for Lindsay Davenport.
One's enough. Davenport takes the first set, 6 games to 4, 33 minutes.
Well, I'd say Davenport passed the test of the first big pressure game rather well, holding to love. Wow, it's impressive. That's, again, why she's number 1. Playing the big points, the big games better than anyone else. Oh, 15. Just too good. And it's safe. It's inside that sideline.
This wasn't a bad shot from Martina Hingis. And it could have been a little bit deeper, but not a bad shot, but just brutally punished.
Oh, boy.
I don't think so. We're right on that line.
13-14.
Little frustration showing in the game of Martina Hingis, 30-40.
Terrific court coverage from Martina Hingis. Lindsay Davenport hit a great half volley. This one here, see Hingis come in nice and quickly, just bunting it down the line.
Even though it's the first game of the second set, we'll kind of remember that point because it was a break point for Davenport, now game point for Hingis.
A great escape for Hingis in the opening game. 1-love.
Wow. Both players will pick up extra points this week. Both players lost early in this tournament last year. As you see, Hingis climbing all over the opportunity there. Not a well-placed serve.
15.
Change that one in a hurry.
13-15.
Well, you see the curve on that serve from Lindsay Davenport, really going away from her opponent. Such a perfect serve down the middle.
Pretty impressive the way Lindsay Davenport responded when she played the first point. Hingis just knocked the serve off. She came back with 2 aces and a service winner, even though she also threw in a double fault.
Tremendous court coverage again by Martina Hingis.
And not only when Martina Hingis pulled all the way out the court, she just hit this great, that's the backhand there, tremendous depth, even when she was way out of position, getting the short reply from Davenport and being able to put it away.
It's really one of the few kind of sloppy, looked like Lindsay's mind wasn't quite on that point. Same thing a little bit there.
Well, they're the kind of openings that Martina Hingis is looking for, that you don't get too many errors against the number one or too many chances against the number one player in the world. And here she's got 3 to hold serve.
Two games to 1. Hingis second set, but Davenport took the first.
Even though it's just 2-1.
Well, there was just a couple of signs in that last game where Lindsay made 3 unforced errors, really framed a couple, and I'm sure they would give Martina Hingis a little bit of encouragement.
Just like the last service game of Davenport, finds herself down love 15, but didn't come up with a big ace like she did in the previous game to get out of the love 15 hole. See, Davenport used to do this a lot, just sort of take a mental break in a match, and it's happening right now. See how quickly she can pull herself out of it. See, Hingis knows, she's smart, she knows that Davenport's having one of these little lulls, so it puts a little bit of pressure on you to try and capitalize on the lull. Maybe over. We'll see.
Oh, gee, that was mean.
Well, there's no just pushing the volley into the open court there, is there? See Lindsay Davenport all over that. I mean, most other players would hit that ball, come into the net and just bunt the volley into the open court, but there's no bunt about that backhand.
No, that was headed for double bay in a hurry.
Cheers.
Well, see, this is what happens. You get yourself down love 30 in a game. Davenport did a great job winning 3 points in a row, get that add back, but it's really hard to win 4 points in a row.
Advantage Davenport.
Too good again from Davenport. The whole serve, game's going with serve here in the second set. It's 2-all.
Davenport answers the question whether or not she can come out of that 6 point in a row. Little slide.
Love 15.
Pressure straight back on Hingis here serving. Love 30.
See, the same thing. 2 ahead of Davenport in a category that usually Hingis has the smaller number. Wow, 2 out of 3 points with double faults.
Well, the pressure's not only coming from Davenport, a lot of it's being self-imposed here in this game.
Just as well for you, Martina Hingis. That return was going to be a winner. And that was either going to be a winner or hit the fence.
She wasn't a happy camper. You could tell she's pretty disgusted with the 2 double faults she'd served this game.
Wow.
Well, that's 3 in the one game, and that's the break for Lindsay Davenport. 3-2 ahead and by 1 set.
Disgust. Well, that's a forehand we see Steffi Graf miss a lot. That's come well inside the court, and you could see Lindsay kind of still had this huge backswing. Needed to shorten that up, neaten it up a bit. Neither one are playing their best tennis the last couple of games.
Lindsay Davenport making no mistake on this particular forehand, going back inside Martina Hingis.
Oh, terrific. Terrific. 3.5 meters behind the baseline and played the ball awkwardly, but managed to hook it cross court for the winner here.
Well, that's a shot maybe 12 months ago you wouldn't see Lindsay Davenport get to, let alone hit a winner off it. Clawing her way back to 30 all.
More racket tossing from Hingis. Rueful, I was going to say grimace, maybe is the right word.
She has them both.
Rubbing it in. Davenport, an ace to take it a 4-2.
Davenport leads 4 games to 2.
6th ace from Lindsay Davenport, and that's an impressive number from the tall American. She started to pick those up in the last 12 months as well, the free points, the aces. And why not at that height? About 6'3". Which is how many centimeters? 1.89 or something like that.
Well, Martina Hingis taking a little bit of a gamble there, coming into the net off a reasonably deep ball.
14-15. Game
Hingis tightening things up here in the second.
Low 15.
Well, that combination, lethal, really Lindsay Davenport making Martina Hingis stretch on the first one, and then Hingis had to come back and close, but then Davenport just flicking it up over her head. Big point, that one. Got Lindsay Davenport back to 15 all. Trying to keep that break in hand.
Actually, Liz, Davenport has lost every first point of her serve in this second set and gone down 11-30 twice.
13-15.
So a really vital thing for Davenport has been how she's been playing the points when she's down on her serve.
Two game points for Lindsay Davenport to go to a 5-3 lead here in the second set after winning the first 6-4.
Game Davenport.
Does it well with an ace.
Remember, Davenport can hit this many aces in a match, combine it with a great returning. It's no surprise she finds herself one game away from winning this championship. But in the first set, she had a 2-break lead, 5-1. In the second set,
Great shot, Martina.
yep, only a 1-break lead.
Good touch on the stretch volley here from Hingis. Taking a bit of a chance. Coming to the net.
Well, there's a time when pressing on the forehand side, Hingis makes the winner down the line.
14.
Davenport hits as many net cords that go over as anybody. It's so hard, so close to the net. Still 2 more game points for Hingis to close the gap here in the second set.
Well, I think Martina thought that return was going to go out. Wonderful depth. Just looking down there at the line. Wonderful depth from Lindsay Davenport. Still 40-30. You can't get a return any better than that. The off return on the line.
Boom. Now just 2 points away from the match in the championship. You can see Davenport anticipating the play from Hingis, and it brings up championship point.
Lindsay Davenport out of position with the backhand, still managing to come up with a great winning shot.
Well, that's as fine a winner as I've ever seen on championship point. I mean, that was almost behind her, and she still got a cross court with force.
She was going the other way, wasn't she, Pam? Completely wrong-footed, but somehow managing to get the racket back behind the ball and still have enough penetration to be able to flick it back for the winner. I mean, it was just a remarkable shot.
Referee Billy Gilmore consoling Hingis there, and now the winner, the championship, the last singles match played here at White City, goes to the #1 player in the world, the reigning U.S. Open champion, and one of the few matches, only the 5th time these two out of 14, it's been decided in straight sets. 6-4, 6-3.
Well, I think Lindsay would have to be pretty pleased with that performance. She started out fantastic, got out to a very early lead of 5-1. Hingis threw very good play, actually. She took quite a few chances. She started to play a lot more aggressively, almost clawed her way back to even it up at 5-all, but Lindsay played a great game to close out that set. 6-4, and then the second set.
Had a little window of opportunity, actually, where Davenport lost 6 points in a row in the middle of the second set, and it was right there that Hingis had her little opportunity, and the former #1 player was unable to grab a hold of it. And it really is fascinating, this rivalry that is developing into something special in a fairly short time, because a little over a year ago, who would have thought that Lindsay Davenport would be #1 in the world?
Well, and I think
Trying, because she never does quit, and there's a lot of mileage in her tennis game yet. Martina, we'd like you to accept the runners-up check from Rob Mills, the National Marketing Manager for Adidas, for 52,000 Australian dollars. And from the President of Tennis Australia, Jeff Pollard, the Waterford Crystal Trophy. For a gracious winner previously of the title here 2 years ago, but today, Martina, Lindsay, well, she just didn't ease up from the start. Served so well today.
Oh, definitely. It was just too good today, and I mean, it was a great support from the whole crowd throughout the whole week, so thanks for that. It was great playing in front of you.
I mentioned the rivalry between the two of you that's already building. This is the 7th final, I think, that you've played against each other in about the past 18 months. And actually, I think the score is now 4-3 in favour of Lindsay. And as I said...
It's 7-all.
No, in finals. In finals.
Okay.
Yeah, in finals. And with the #1 at stake still, obviously your intention is to take that back.
Well, I think if we continue to play this well, like we showed the people this week, so we might meet next week again.
Well, I was going to say, returning to Melbourne Park for the Australian Open Championship, you must, despite the fact that you came out on the wrong end of the scoreboard today, be pretty confident about the way you played here at White City as a preparation.
Oh, yes, definitely. It was a much better start into the year than I played last year. Like, I got killed by Venus Williams. Well, not killed, but I was like, okay, I lost first round, and I definitely prepare myself much better this year, and I'm happy to be in the finals, but I definitely prefer to win, but Lindsay was just too good today.
Congratulations on a fine effort, and we look forward to seeing you in Melbourne.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Martina Hingis. And the winner, the final ladies singles championship ever played to White City, the world number 1, Lindsay Davenport. A check from Rob Mills from Adidas for 104,000 Australian dollars. And the Waterford Crystal Trophy, the magnificent Waterford Crystal vase from Jeff Pollard. This is reward for effort for Lindsay Davenport. A popular visitor to Australia, twice before a finalist here at White City. Today, the winner, world number 1, standing tall. The transformation in the last 18 months or so has been phenomenal for you.
Yeah, it's been a really exciting time, and really the last 2 years I've just tried to work really hard to make myself a better tennis player and in better shape, and I really could have never imagined ever becoming one and being as successful as I have been, and I'm really just sometimes overwhelmed by it all.
What's been the key? What's the secret? Just sheer hard work?
A lot of hard work. I think a little bit more confidence, but just trying to practice more and just learning to play matches a little bit better over the years.
Apart from physical fitness, what one aspect of your game would you say has improved the most in that?
I would say overall maybe my consistency, maybe waiting for the right shot a little bit better and not making an error too soon. I need to really go for my shots, but if I can be more consistent with it, then I'll probably be a little bit more successful.
There was just a game and a half there early in the second set where you seemed to withdraw a little, and there was a danger of Martina getting back into it there. It was tough to regroup and knuckle down.
Well, it's so tough mentally against Martina. She's such a great competitor. You always know you have to be on top of your game, and any little thing you do wrong is going to turn bad for you. And, today it worked out for me, but I've really enjoyed competing with Martina over the last few years, and she's been a great person. She's a true champion, and I like playing her, and I hope I play her 2 weeks from today.
Match point. Have you ever hit a better shot in your life?
Yeah, it was a tough match point. I think I got the ball right where I wanted it to go. I wish I could say that, but it was fun. I'm really glad to move on to Melbourne, playing well here this week.
And your name will be the last name to be inscribed on the championship board here at White City.
I was beginning to think I'd never win it here. 2 times in the finals and getting close a couple of years, but I'm happy to win the last time here in White City. I've had such a great time here the last 5 years that I've played here, and I'll still be back, although it's at a different site, but I'll always remember White City very fondly.
The world number 1, the champion here at White City in the Adidas International for 1999, Lindsay Davenport. Ladies and gentlemen, one more big match to come here at White City, the men's doubles championship.